The Arcturians. Channeled through Suzanne Lee. June 10, 2015. The Arcturians.
Beloved ones, you are all creating your new home on New Earth. Your new home may be on New Earth, your new starship assignment, and/or your new light buddy. In fact, you are all building your new life thought by thought and emotion by emotion. Within this now, your consciousness is continuing to expand into higher and higher frequencies and dimensions. Hence, your expanded powers of multidimensional manifestation are coming online. Therefore, as you continue to download and integrate the return to your fifth-dimensional self, you must especially be aware of your every thought and emotion. When you were resonating to a lower frequency of light, it took a long time for your conscious and unconscious self to manifest the thought forms that you consciously, or unconsciously, created. It took more time for your thought forms to manifest because they were created within time. Now, your superconscious thoughts and multidimensional emotions are seeping into your 3D brain. Therefore, your thought forms are immediately returning to you in various stages of manifestation. The term, what you think about, you bring about, will exponentially expand. This expansion will progress as your consciousness expands into higher and higher frequencies. Once you create your thought forms while in a fifth-dimensional state of consciousness, you leave time to function within the now. Within that now, you will create, perceive, and/or receive information that resonates from the now of the One. This information is free of all polarity, and beyond the 3D judgments of good or bad, beyond all illusions of separation and individual thoughts and emotions. The term individual will slip from your vocabulary once you have fully logged out of the 3D matrix. When you create your reality in this manner, you create a lattice, a Jacob's ladder, into the higher dimensions of reality. This Jacob's ladder is the unity of all the dimensions of your multidimensional self held together by the outsides of the ladder, which reminds you of the polarized reality you are releasing. This ladder is an internal ladder, which will infinitely expand into higher and higher dimensions, as you calibrate your consciousness to the higher frequencies of reality. You will expand your consciousness by continually clearing the lower frequency illusions of separation from your earth vessel, neighborhood, city, state, country, hemisphere, and the entire planet. You, beloved ones, are our cleanup crew who has enough freedom from ego that you can clean up the mess that someone else made. You are free of ego, so you have no need to judge the ones who made the mess. In other words, you are becoming masters. As masters you are free of judgment of yourself. Hence, you no longer need to judge others. Because you remember your myriad incarnations in lower consciousness, you can acknowledge the messes you left in other incarnations. You also understand that being a master means you clear the path for others. The fact that you are now clearing what others have left behind, reminds you of your own progression toward returning home. Because you no longer judge yourself, you can recognize this shift by the lack of your own ego concerns, fears and cautions. You know that you are infinitely overlit, guided, and protected. You feel this confidence because you believe in yourself and know that your higher dimensional experiences are real. As you begin to realize your true reality in the higher dimensions, you begin to see through the myriad lies and disinformation that is being released by your 3D media. You can feel the truth of the higher frequencies and know the lies of the 3D matrix. When you come to that state of awareness, you begin to build your new home, which is your light buddy. Of course, you do not build it because it already exists in your fifth dimensional, and beyond, self. What you are building is your own inner guidance of how you can stay connected to your multidimensional self while you also move through the challenges of 3D life. This higher perspective of your life requires that you meditate often to ground higher and higher states of consciousness into your physical form. Eventually, you begin to have conscious experiences of your light buddy while still wearing your earth vessel. These experiences of light buddy offer you a feeling of total euphoria that cannot be ignored. Your light buddies are beginning to flash out from your core when you are in your higher states of consciousness. You may also experience your light buddy when you receive a message from the higher dimensions. This light language has found an open portal into your 3D brain. Remember, These messages are also stored in your multi-dimensional mind to be recovered when you can remember to expand your consciousness into the fifth dimension. Within your fifth dimensional consciousness, you can access all these higher dimensional messages. Since messages from the fifth dimension and beyond are free of time, they do not expire if you cannot get to them for a span of your time. Sometimes these messages wait in your multi-dimensional mind for years before you can maintain the state of consciousness in which you can retrieve and read them. Remember that time is an illusion of the 3D matrix. Once your consciousness is free of that matrix, you are free of the limitations of time. In fact, more and more of our volunteers to Gaia are remembering how to wear their 3D vessel in the physical reality while they remain in constant contact with their higher expressions of self. The more deeply you ground your physical form into the core of Gaia, the higher your consciousness can expand into your multi-dimensional self. However, if one tries to connect with the higher dimensions for the purpose of personal gain, they will be limited to the third, fourth dimension in which goals are based on individuality. Once your consciousness expands into the fifth dimension, you remember that any selfish goal from even the smallest fragment of yourself must be released. From your higher perspective, you know that you came for Gaia. Once you can embrace this manner of perceiving your physical self and 3D reality, you take a quantum leap within your consciousness. Furthermore, when you become aware that the purpose of the 3D matrix is to attach the 3D holographic projection of reality onto Earth, everything in your life changes. One of the first changes will be that you will recognize the components of your ego self that do not want to change. During the many incarnations in which you played the 3D holographic game, you faced many hardships. These hardships made you feel weak and inadequate. But now you are realizing that it was your own thought forms and fearful intentions that created many of these physical difficulties. As you get more and more glimpses of fifth-dimensional consciousness, you begin to catch yourself in the act of being third-dimensional. Then you will have the challenge of releasing all judgment of your thoughts, words, and/or behaviors. The best way to release self-judgment is to say, "Dear physical expression of myself, I love you unconditionally. I forgive you unconditionally, and I accept you unconditionally." Remember that you were trained to get angry with yourself and be remorseful for your behavior. That training was actually third-dimensional indoctrination. Because you are increasingly regaining your fifth-dimensional perspective on life, the concept of self-judgment, or feeling remorse for past actions, to falling away. You slowly, or quickly, forget to think or feel in such a third-dimensional manner. Just as you easily released records, to be replaced by tape recordings, to be replaced by streaming music onto your electronic device, you will adapt to many of the changes in your reality. There will be other changes that you will find yourself resisting and pushing away. When you realize that you are displaying that kind of behavior, do not judge yourself. Instead, you take the role of your higher dimensional self and counsel your physical self as a loving parent would counsel their child. In many ways, you are the child of your multi-dimensional self. You are that child because you are an offshoot of yourself. You are the child in that you need your higher self to guide you through the myriad changes of returning to your higher dimensional self, as well as to your higher dimensional home. You will also need your higher self to unconditionally love you when you cannot love your 3D self. Your higher self will also unconditionally forgive you, as well as unconditionally accept whatever mistakes or inner darkness that you discover as you pull the greater light into your aura. This greater light will move into your inner core within your spine, which houses your Kundalini force. Simultaneously, you will feel the higher light entering your fourth-dimensional aura. Then, from the furthest expanse of your aura to your most inner core, the outer and inner lights seek the bliss of unity. The stronger the light is within your core, the more you seek, and find, that higher light in your daily life. Simultaneously, the ever-expanding light of your daily life is communing with the light within your aura. Slowly, but surely, the inner and outer lights move into the in-between to merge. You will have rehearsals of this merging when in deep meditation, while lovingly assisting others, and whenever you experience a deep connection with yourself. Your ego cannot choose these moments of connection. The merging of the inner and outer light occurs when you are in the now of the fifth dimension and beyond. Within that now, you are resonating to the frequency of the One. Therefore, you do not desire anything for your personal self. Within the resonance of the One you remember. You remember yourself in the fifth dimension and beyond. You remember yourself in myriad incarnations and/or parallel and alternate realities. Perhaps, and very important, you may remember why you came to Earth in this now. At first this multi-dimensional memory may seem scattered and out of sequence. This experience is because you are unconsciously slipping into perceiving a moment of the now with your third-dimensional thinking. In this case, you will feel euphoric, invigorated, and you may even cry from joy and love. However, as soon as you try to pull this moment into your time and sequence, your consciousness drops back to the third dimension, and you fall out of the experience. Why did it leave me? You may cry in anger and impatience. Then you might judge yourself by thinking, once again I could not grab that golden ring. We remind you, dear ones, to hold on to the sides of your ladder, as you make your journey. Would you climb a high ladder without holding on to it with your hands? No, you would surely fall if you did. Therefore, dear ones, hold on tightly to that which connects each rung of your return to self. Please understand that it is your own third-dimensional experiences and fourth-dimensional dreams and inspirations that connect each rung of the ladder back home to yourself. Your OWN experiences, dreams, and aspirations unite, contain, and organize your stairway to heaven. At the top of this ladder, you will find the heaven that you have created on earth. Blessings our wonderful, brave warriors for maintaining your unconditional love, inner peace and blissful joy while you climb this ladder home to yourself. We, your galactic family, applaud each and every one of you.